Hi, I'm Adam C and welcome to Drift Limits for one of their very exclusive track days. So they offer the chance to drive all of these supercars and more that you see behind me, and we're allowed to take one of these cars out on their track. So we've also got drifting, so I'll give a little word about that later on, but I need to choose which car to go out in, and as you've probably gathered by the title, the Supra is what I have chosen. So let's go through and show you what is on offer. I'm about to get run over by a 350Z drift car, so these are what they're using for the drifting, so I'll be able to take one of those out. They have got welded diffs, so I can use that as an excuse if I don't do well. We've got a Maserati Gran Turismo and the R34 GTT. So Supra, this is a single turbo and it is manual as well. It's got an uprated clutch too, and then the R34 is slightly updated as well. It's sat a lot nicer, so it's a bit less of a boat than they normally are. We've got the R8 over there with the GT canards. There's the Dodge Charger Sheriff's car next door to that. We've got an LP560 Gallardo, and then this TVR T350, which is a car that I personally was kind of in two minds of whether to choose or not. It was between this, the R34, or the Supra. So this is a 350C, but it does have a 4-litre straight six from the TVR Cigaris. So they normally have 3.5-litre straight sixes, but this has the Cigaris unit swapped into it. So a Cigaris is essentially a glammed up 350, just with a bit of a body kit, uprated everything, and a bored out engine. So this has the Cigaris engine, about 400 horsepower, no driving aids, no traction control, ABS, or anything like that, rear wheel drive. So this is probably the most fun, and if I was doing it for myself, if I've been bought a Drift Limits experience, this is the car that I would have chosen. However, I think we should try out the Supra just for Fast and Furious vibes. So here we have the R8 next to the Sheriff car and one of their little single seaters over here. We've got a 458 GT3 car, which is not available to be driven today, but it is part of their fleet that you can go out in. And we've also got a Radical and an Aerial Atom. Now this is another one. This is probably the fastest car that I could have picked today to go out on track in, but I've driven a few Caterhams. I feel like I've experienced this kind of thing. I've never ever driven anything like a Supra, so I don't know what it's all about. There's a lot of hype and a lot of commotion about the new Mk4 Supra and whether it's better or worse than this, and though I haven't experienced a Mk5, I've not even experienced a Mk4 yet, so we need to get that out of the way. And as you can see, this is in pure Fast and Furious spec. It also is a aero top, targa top, so you can take the roof off, which we won't be doing. Inside it's pretty standard. You've got this classic cockpit that's been inspired by fighter jets, so it comes round and kind of cocoons you in your seat. It's got a blue steering wheel, which is very brave, and then the Fast and Furious graphics on the orange body. So they've all got slicks apart from the TVR, so they should be nice and grippy even with the single turbo, which apparently has a lot of lag. So I'm going to be going out in this with an instructor to kind of teach me what the racing line is, because this is like their own custom track. I have no idea where it goes over there, then comes around here, and there's a few cones to aim for, and we are scored on a few things. It's like driving line and style and braking and all that, and then we get a score at the end of the day. It's a bit of a competition, so we're going to do that, hop in there, and then maybe do some drifting towards the end of the video. But just quickly, these JDM Legends are really rising in value and therefore are attractive targets for theft. But thankfully, this video's sponsor, CarLock, can put an end to that. CarLock's simple and effective device plugs into your Pride and Joy and connects to their easy-to-use app to detect any unusual behavior, including engine starts, vehicle movements, and even vibrations. The car's location is tracked 24/7, and you'll even be notified of any battery lows or drains. I even have their handy extension cable to hide it away, but you'll even get alerted if it gets disconnected by a more crafty crim. I've even gone ahead and got myself a CarLock basic kit for my older cars that don't have OBD ports, so this just connects straight to the battery. So for peace of mind, just click the link in the description and use my code for 10% off your purchase. Let's go hop in this Supra. Shall I boot it, or?
Yeah, straight out, like, you're good.
I don't know the track yet.
Yeah, so your first lap you want to get
So where's it going?
So keep to the inside through here.
Yeah.
Then you want to let the car come out sort of the middle of the track and then ease it over to the left. And you've got an orange green cone that you're looking out for. Lovely, so the taller cone, then turn into the right, looking for the apex cone on the inside. So through the chicane, and wait until you're nice and straight, you got it, and then on the gas, open up. It takes a while. That's it, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Oh,
keep going, yeah. Brake around about the cone. So brake now, that's it. let second gear run out of it. Third gear. Nice.
There's
Big
the
O, you got it? Squeeze the brake down, nice and firm. Fantastic. Go for the downward, you turn things staying tight. Get the car straight, feed the power in. Nice, give it a go. Squeeze the brake on the way, looking for the apex on the inside. Lovely, a little late on the turn, it's on the apex. Lovely, through the chicane, wait until you're straight, that's it, go, go, go. That's a bit of limiter.
Yeah, that's the limiter.
Squeeze the brake there, good, nice and firm. What do you think to the Supra? Enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's better than I thought. It honestly is.
Feed it in there. Lovely, third gear, good change. Little squeeze the brake on the way in. Beautiful job, through the chicane. Get it straight now, go, go, go. Lovely, well done. Keep it in, that's it. Squeeze the brake down. Fantastic. Back into the Supra.
Honestly, I didn't have high hopes for it. I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be an old Toyota. Like everyone hypes it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And they think, oh yeah, it's going to be rubbish, isn't it? It's going to be slow, but obviously it's got a single turbo, so there's a lot of lag, but there's a lot of power though.
100%.
Because I was going to pick the TVR T350 because that's the car I like.
Okay.
NA and
We'll
that's
have
the
a
kind
go
of
at it as
raw.
well, yeah.
I'd love to, I really would do. But I thought I need to pick. I've never driven a Supra. I need to pick one because I film them all the time at these car shows I go to, and they get so much hype. And I get it.
They're just good fun. It puts a good smile on you.
It does, yeah, and the sound of the turbo as well. I mean, does it?
They're all a little bit.
Lovely, thank you very much.
No worries at all.
I took 10 minutes deciding Supra, R34 or TVR, and I think I chose the right one. So, other than stalling it when I first got in it, which luckily I didn't film, but yes, I stalled it, so I didn't expect the clutch to have such a low biting point. I have been scored, so I got 67 out of 100, so better than average. I mean, I got good driver control, braking I was marked down for because this corner here, I chicken out of going to fourth and I brake too soon because it's like when you've got an instructor next to you, I didn't want to scare him, like make him think that I'm not going to stop. So maybe if I do another one, then I'll be a bit more kind of harsh in the braking, but these are excuses, driving excuses. So I think I did pretty all right. Steering inputs, pretty good. Precision driving, pretty good. Racing line, pretty good as well, just slightly above par. So here is its 2J. It was originally NA, but they've converted into single turbo. So it was, to be honest, a lot better than I thought. I thought it's just gonna be like an old 90s Japanese car. It's not gonna be as fast as people say it was, but to be fair, it was a laugh, and the turbo flutters really do help. So you've got the R34, which is set up nicely. The Supra is fairly standard in its setup, but handled pretty well around the corners. The turbo lag was annoying, but it at least kind of kept me in line around the corners until the boost kicked in. So that was my experience with the Supra. Before we go out on the drift pan, which is in front of us, we shall head through this selection of cars that's a part of the Drift Limits fleet. So these are cars that have kind of gone to die or being worked on or have just been used. So they've got a lot of ND Mark II MX5s. In fact, that one's running. I'll leave it be. We've got 350Zs, loads of them, and we've got a aired out Bentley Continental GT. This is one of their supercar rides that you can, well, drive, and obviously these have air suspension, and this one's got a bit old, but look, Continental GT on slick tyres. Yes, lots of dirty Mark II MX5s. RX-8s, they use these as sighting lap cars. We've also got a M3 that you can drive, as well as another Gran Turismo, and then a young driver Boxster. There's an Evora, and a very long lineup of Mark II MX5s. There's a Mark 2.5 here. We've got more 350Zs, some of them are missing front ends. There's an Audi R8, a V12 Vantage, and another LP560. There's a Subaru there next to, oh, I didn't notice this, E46 M3 and an RX-7, both again on slicks. Lovely colour on that E46. I really like, that's the colour I would get if I was to own one. So let's come down to this Shelby Mustang. Looks pretty beefy next to the bumperless and headlightless 350Z. I think he's having his cams adjusted maybe because it's quite a big job on these, and the, oh, okay, he's had a bit of a, I don't know, predicament. So this is like a Shelby Eleanor recreation from a 2005, 2006, 7 Mustang. So it's got an Eleanor front end on it and then the Eleanor paint job. So That's pretty cool. Next door is a yellow 360 and then a bumperless yellow 360 down here amongst more Boxsters and RX-8s and another Subaru on the end. And we finish off with this orange Audi R8. It's like a pearl orange, looks really nice. And then just up here is the skid pan. That's being wetted at the moment, so to keep noise down they've got like prison and then TV studio neighbours and someone called Betty who complains, so to keep the noise down they're wetting it so there's no like tyre skids and stuff like that. So we're going to have a wet surface with a welded diff, so it should be pretty easy to get going, but I reckon I'm going to spin this because it's like a figure of, well, it's not a figure 8, but it's got there's lots of transitions, which is something I've never done before. So that will be an interesting one to see. So I'm going to hop into one of their 350Zs, I don't know which one, and then have a go. Obviously I've got a 350Z, so I'd like to think that I can handle it well, but mine's got a viscous LSD, which is what they came with, which works a bit like a broken LSD. Sometimes it locks, sometimes it doesn't, so sometimes it's not locking, the inside wheel spins, then it just locks, and then it sends you into a bit of a surprising spin. Look how dirty they get. So yeah, let's stop talking, get into a 350. Oh, talking of that, let's watch him. Look, there you go. This is how it's meant to be done, so a bit of a transition there. Oh, this is familiar.
As you can see, it's very slippery.
Yeah.
You've clearly done this before.
Like maybe third here.
Yeah, you can. And the speed you're
next
carrying,
time, I think.
Yeah, we'll go up into third on the next one. There we go. Just going off circuit anyway.
That's nice and easy. There we go.
Very nicely done. Hook the left front on the line as well. Now start thinking about that right rear towards the cone.
Oh, I'm in third. That's whacking. No, I'm gonna spin. It's nice having a welder diff. It doesn't want to lock on you randomly.
So, left rear to the outside, there you go.
Here we go.
Almost a 360 there.
Yeah. Oh, it's all part of the fun though. I don't worry about the score.
You're on track for a pretty decent score anyway.
Well, does spinning out not kind of damper the...
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I had great fun.
How do you think you did?
I don't know, I kept spinning out, which is annoying. But I knew when it was going to happen. It's like, I suppose that's what happens when you're kind of on the limit. You try and be a hero, which is what drifting's all about, isn't it?
You just got to try and anticipate that very early on. And if in doubt, I know it's usually if in doubt, go flat out, but in this situation, it's the lifting off. I always anticipate that fraction too late. I know I've got no more lock to give, and it's like, well, here we go. So there we have it. Well, I kept spinning it. That was the main drawback. I suppose transitions, it's hard to practice unless you're on a controlled environment, so the transitions I couldn't quite get, and kind of a quick shift into third didn't treat me well. But on my scorecard, I'm actually quite consistent. I scored 67 again, so I'm slightly above average. I did well at technique, control, it's just the linking I was marked down for. So that was my experience in their 350Z drift car and at the Drift Limits track day. So I think I'm going to end the video now, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Go follow me on Instagram for the updates, highlights and weekly action or daily action of these things that I do and photographs of these wonderful cars. But for now, thanks for watching.